That's obviously exactly just thinking there. It looks like Gaultier's, doesn't it? And spacious as well, quite a good little bit of leg room. Yeah, we're travelling in style today on the Renfe Avant. Going to Toledo, it's about a 30-minute journey from Madrid. 10 euros each way. Could be worse. It's obviously not UK prices, but it's fucking not that cheap either, really. For 30 minutes, do you know what I mean? 10 euros. On the pricey side, I think. Okay, the scenic spot for today is a little town called Toledo. It's just south of Madrid, about 30 minutes on the train. It's a kind of on a bit of a mountain, so historically I suppose it's been quite an important fortress city. It's a walled city, and inside you're going to see all kinds of artifacts, points of interest from like Christian, Muslim and possibly Jewish faith even. I'm not sure how they all got on there, but I know there's a few mosques and a few churches, and just a lot of like cobbled street and winding little alleyways, which is what I'm all about. And as long as I can have something to eat down there, I reckon that's going to be alright. ¿Qué es esto? Ay, gracias.
Buen provecho.
Oh, forget that one. That's what it's all about. Hamburguesa rustica. Yeah, rustic hamburger. Oh, it's a double patty, all beautiful. The guys told me that's a mix of beef and pork. Lovely caramelised onions on top. All looks gorgeous. Sorry dear, what is your one?
Huevos rotos.
Huevos rotos. Right, that place is pretty good, I would say. That was a lovely hamburger. I'm more of a pure beef man, and they do have the pure beef option for €6. So could be even nicer. The chips were fantastic, and the old huevos rotos looked awesome. That is just pretty much the first place you're going to come to as you come out of the train station in Toledo. You come round this corner if you're walking down the Paseo de Rosa, then you are going to come past that venue, and I would recommend it for a spot of breakfast. Now onwards and upwards to the walled city. Right, we're just about to enter the walled city now. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Right, we've just made our way up these steps here, coming from down there on the road. A little bit of a climb, not too bad. But the interesting thing about it is, obviously, as you're walking up, the kind of, how can I say, suspension of awareness occurs. So like, as in so many times, I'm climbing up some hill next to some rustic old castle wall or something, and it's like I'm entering a tourist attraction, but in reality I'm just entering a town. We're up here, hit a nice little terraced restaurant here, a couple of gardens around here, and if you see over there, they're pretty clearly just residential buildings. We're walking into a town behind the walls on a mountain. Pretty cool, huh? And this is the slightly newer part of the city, I believe. I'm no expert on the area, but from what I could work out, through the map, reading one little bit of a tourist guide and common sense, is that this is obviously the old city, because you know, on a mountain behind the wall, again, that says to me an old city, and that is the new stuff. And back over that way, I think, is the main city of Madrid. So that's Toledo for you. I'm going to have a little browse around and see what else I can see. Right, coming off that roof terrace now, and you can see quite immediately that we're just entering a normal town. There's the bank there. There's the shoe shop. And there's some winding roads. Aquí. Bueno. Right, we are directly back into the Matrix now. Look, you've even got Zara over there. It's all going off, but it's nice to know at least that we are on the top of a big hill. Certainly adds something to the experience. Yeah. Well, what a lot of people like to come and do in Toledo is do a little gourmet tour. You can buy some kind of ticket pass to get all tapas in various venues. This is not necessarily one of the venues, but I'm just showing you the type of gear that will be on offer. We got jamones de jabugo. Looks pretty awesome up there. Look, you can see that the meat is quite dark, probably from one of the black pigs. Yeah, they're supposed to be the best ones. And lest we forget the artisan cheeses down here. Look at that one, full of chili flakes. That one, not exactly sure.
The peppers.
Yeah, right. Looks like a red Leicester, but yeah, that is correct. It is labelled with pepper, so I guess that's where the colour comes from. This one, a little clue as to where the colour comes from, either side of it. Vino tinto, yeah? Whoever would have thought it? Red wine in a cheese. There's a herb one there, and that one, I guess, is truffle. So, some really nice stuff, and that is just what this country is all about, honestly.
Since this is season unlimited, it only comes from now.
Is that right?
So that's what I saw online.
Okay, good choice. What is it? Do you know what is in it?
I don't know, I tried to Google it and I cannot find the translation.
Marzipan is poroso. Oh, so maybe it's marzipan in there. Made from almond. Yeah, because these will all be marzipan. The shop's called marzipan, isn't it? No, marzipan's one of the choices. Okay, so it's from marzipan. You know where they make these fake fruits and all that and put on top of cakes? That's marzipan.
Oh,
Made.
the thing that to color it?
You can colour it, yeah, and just make different shapes out of it. And if you make a little man or something on top of the cake, but it's edible, that'd be marzipan.
Isn't this icing or something?
Well, you could do it out of icing, but there's also marzipan, which, as I say, is a kind of pastry made from almond, and sugar. You know what I mean? It is like icing.
Pero mejor, no?
It's like icing.
Is it mejor?
Mejor?
Is it better?
I don't like it that much, but it looks good.
Okay, here we go. Which way?
Well, it seems to be a bit of a fixation with knives in this area.
I think you probably have story with it, right?
There's got to be, yeah. Oh, I tell you what I'm going to guess. You see, this is what you get on this channel. You don't get facts, information, the result of empirical research. You get what I reckon probably happened a long time ago. Also seeing a lot of this, right? Obviously, you've got your modern day knives for sale. Stuff like this everywhere. Old-fashioned knives. Even this dude over here. See that one over here? The old suit of arms, yeah. Suit of armour, I should say. I'm gonna hazard a guess that this town was big in the old, what do you call it, steelsmith game. Yeah, making swords and things like that. And obviously, as it is a, you know, castle fortress, basically the whole town, there's probably a lot of soldiers living here. So they probably needed a lot of swords. Oh, and as I might have alluded to, the Spanish did quite like invading and exterminating indigenous communities around the world. They liked it almost as much as the British, which is a lot, right? So that's probably why they needed all the swords. What do you reckon? Sounds right, doesn't it?
Okay.
What I just said? Sounds like an accurate representation of history, wouldn't you say?
I didn't hear that.
Because you don't listen to me, ever.
Come on.
Say, I love you, Dean, I want to have your baby, and I will forgive you.
Yay.
Calle de Angel. Angel Street, let's have a look. There is an English translation. Quick, let's go the other way. Claire's insisting we go to the Jewish area.
I don't really know what's wrong with him, you know.
Claire's insisting we go to the Jewish area, so I gotta follow her, but just be very careful around here is all I'm saying. Hold on to your wallet,
It's
alright?
21st century, man.
Hold on to your wallet down here, alright? Watch out for them magic tricks. This one caught our eye on the way round, but it's a €2.50 charge to enter. As far as I can ascertain, it's some kind of museum about Catholicism. Yeah, $2.50 for a Catholic museum. To be frank, I would rather go to a Jewish museum. I tell you what though, they have got a flair for design, the old Catholics. Say what you like about them, they know how to fucking put together a building, don't they? And how to decorate it. Ideological control through guilt, hypocrisy and oppression aside, not to mention the systematic and institutionalised child abuse that they're so well known for. They are pretty good decorators. That's why when someone comes around to do like the wall in your back garden or your front drive, always a Roman Catholic. Well, I mentioned to you that we were going to see the three cultures combine in this city, and it's true. Now I was just a moment ago following signs towards the synagogue, but I don't seem to be able to find it, so that might come up in a moment, but there is one here nearby. This one obviously is a Catholic church, and if you look very carefully, it's quite interesting. You see, this one, this one, this one, in fact all of them have had their hands chopped off. They're all missing hands, and that one in the middle even, you can see that it looks like his hands have been replaced because he needs them because he's holding the candle. So yeah, at some stage or another they've all lost their hands, which indicates that the Muslims have been here as well. Yeah,
Spot's being taken.
I'm getting some really racist material today, it's really good. I'm really happy with it.
Too much saliva.
Nice little ceramic shop here. Got some good examples of the old hand painted plates and tiles. Quite an interesting selection all around. Claire, quickly, we gotta go. We gotta go. What did you say? Here comes the chinks. You're not even Chinese, you're so racist. Japanese. Japanese. Was it Korean? I thought I heard one of them talking Japanese before. Alright, this is interesting. Fabrica Marzipanes Conde, yeah, obviously that is marzipan manufacturers. Seems to be a marzipan theme around here as well. So Toledo, good for knives, churches, synagogues, mosques and marzipan. Oh, and lizards, as the graffiti clearly shows. You know, this door's probably got a hex on it. Another sinister development is unfolding as we explore town a little bit. Have a look at this. We've got strange symbols at seemingly random points. There's one. Haven't had another one yet, have we? Here we go, there's the other one. What the hell is that? Some sort of alien language, reptilian code. You know what I mean? It's interesting, isn't it?
I think it must mean something, because these symbols are sales on the street too.
Have you seen more? Oh, look, there's one down there. No, I think it is. I think it is Hebrew writing.
No, this one is the same.
That was the same as the first one. There. This one looks a little bit like it might be Hebrew writing. Oh yeah, that one is definitely a Jewish symbol. Yeah, basically.
One more.
Yeah, that's definitely a Jewish symbol. I don't know if that means it's a synagogue or it's a Jewish area. So basically, obviously, this is a Jewish area.
Then he's afraid. His leg is shaking. He gonna pee pee.
Yeah, obviously, well, at least they kept them segregated. Do you know what I mean? So, good town planning in that sense. Oh. Fine. Yeah, that one definitely looks like Hebrew. But one of them really didn't. It's strange. We're out of that part of town now. Bloody hell.
Not end yet.
Have you... Dun, dun, dun. Quick, let's go. Come on. You gotta get out of it.
Here comes the nerd.
Have you got everything? Have you checked your wallet and all that? You checked your bag? No, nothing's been taken out of your bag.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And right on the ground. What does that mean? Is it another sign?
Sorry?
There's two French bread on the ground.
The symbolism. 2 French bread on the ground.
Yeah, it's there.
2 French bread on the ground. Do you know what this means? If this is true, I better check that she's correct as well. She's right. There's 2 Or 3? Is it even 3? Makes a big difference if it's 2 or 3. It's only 2. For 1 minute, if it was 3, we'd have been in trouble. I don't think I can tell you on camera. I'd have my tongue cut out if I told you and buried in sand.
Then please tell me, get it cut.
Right, there's 2 Iberico ham bocadillo, looking bloody marvellous, and 2 beers, which we are sitting and eating and drinking literally inside the delicatessen. Seems to be fairly common over here. People, you know, a couple of chairs and tables in the delicatessen, and you can stop here and eat your produce, eat your purchase even. Looks like a really nice selection in there, so I think I might get a couple of souvenirs for the journey home. Well, I'm not entirely sure how to say it, but it's Iglesia de los Jesuitas. Iglesia de los Jesuitas. Obviously it means Jesuits, yeah? The old Jesuits are a certain branch of Catholicism. Don't know what the difference is between them and other branches, but I do hear that they're particularly fond of abusing young boys. But I don't know if that is really, I don't know if that makes the distinction any clearer. Excuse me, Freudian slip. I don't know if that makes the distinction any clearer between the Jesuits and other branches of Catholicism. But as I say, they certainly know how to build a nice church. Fantastic interior designers, the Catholics, and exterior designers. Obviously got some sort of relationship with the high incidence of homosexuality among the clergy. Really nice views of Toledo up here. This is the picture postcard image right here. This spire, that large building up there. That's what would be really good now, is if I put up a little graphic there of the name of that one, and then a graphic there of the name of that one. That would be awesome. And you'll know whether I got round to doing that or not now. All these little slated rooftops just gathered together in kind of random patterns. That is like continental Europe for me. Actually, the interior is much more sedate than your standard Catholic church, so whether or not the old Jesuits are a bit closer to the Protestants, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like they go as fully fledged on the interior design. So, Jesuits, not as good as mainstream Catholics at interior design. But, you know, when it comes to abusing young boys, they are in a league of their own. So, it's pros and cons really, isn't it? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Vámonos. Oh, or should I say vamos? Right?
Yeah.
Vamos.
Vamos.
What's vaminos then compared with vamos?
Vamos.
Vaminos, we are going. Vamos, let's go. Like that, something. Right, that's about it from Toledo. Nice little city for a wonder. A few bars and restaurants. The coffee's not up to much, but the views are magnificent. So, well worth a day trip. Just 30 minutes away from Madrid. Even might be worth staying overnight. Plenty of hotels inside. As I say, a few bars. I saw one nightclub, and I believe that there's a university in there, so it could be a good night out. So, from Toledo, I bid you bon voyage. Adieu. Adios. That's the one. I'm sorry. I need you. The resemblance is uncanny.